Good morning. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about defeating discouragement, because when we're in our chronic pain, we get discouraged, don't we? The first 10, 15 years that I was in chronic pain, I fought it. I was discouraged. I was angry. I was mad at God. I was mad at the world. I was mad at people. And I just, when I finally learned that the things that God allows in our lives are the things that He is using He's using them to grow us, to become more Christ-like. And when I finally surrendered to Him, and I used this as an opportunity, my chronic pain, to lean into Him and rely on His strength and not my own, is when things really started to change. And I wanted to just read to you this devotional that I'm reading. It's called Defeating Discouragement. And the passage, is, I put it in the notes above, is Nehemiah 2:11 through 20. And it's talking about when God put upon Nehemiah's heart to go rebuild the wall in Jerusalem. And he had opposition when he got there. People were despising him to scorn, and they were teasing him and just making fun of and trying to deter him from finishing this. And he just reminds himself and those that are helping him in verse 20, "Then answered I them and said unto them, the God of heaven, He will prosper us. Therefore we, His servants, will arise and build. But we have no portion, no right, no memorial in Jerusalem." And so I just wanted you, there's going to be times where you're going to be really, really discouraged. And how do you get through that? So we need to defeat discouragement. So no matter what our position in life may be, we all at times encounter disappointment, and then can quickly lead to discouragement, right? Disappointment is simply an emotional response to a failed expectation or hope, whether because plans went awry or someone didn't measure up. But discouragement is a state of mind in which we become faint-hearted and lose confidence in God, ourselves, and others. And that's where Satan gets a foothold. When Nehemiah arrived in Jerusalem, its inhabitants were discouraged. The city wall had been destroyed, leaving them vulnerable to their enemies, and there were significant hindrances to building. But he encouraged them to start, explaining that the Lord had shown him favor by moving the Persian king's heart to approve the project. Nehemiah's confidence in God replaced the people's despair and lethargy with the hope of success and motivation to work diligently. We have a choice. Either settle into the disappointment, which is where it gets worse and it spirals down out of control and Satan gets a hold of us, and accept our discouragement, or, like Nehemiah, focus on the Lord, who is greater than any problem facing us. Although other obstacles and disappointments may remain, God's word shifts our hope to His promises, good purposes, proven faithfulness, and sufficiency. Romans 15:4. With His strength, we can persevere. I had a thought I was going to share with you, and I just forgot it. I love when my brain does that. So today, gosh, I hate it when my brain just goes totally blank. Do you guys do that too with your chronic pain? Do you just in the middle of a sentence and then gone, totally and completely gone? So I just wanted to encourage you. We can defeat discouragement. Discouragement is of Satan. That's where he wants to keep us. He wants to keep us down. He wants to keep us from living the abundant life, even in chronic pain that the Lord has for us. He wants to deter us. He knows where our weaknesses are. He knows that we're struggling with a chronic pain and we're feeling weak, and he's going to attack there. And so I want to just encourage you, go to this. Read this every day. Read this. Even if it's just one verse a day, I would challenge you to read Psalm 139. Read through Psalm 139. I think it's like 24 verses. We can even check that out really quickly right now, but I think it's 24 verses. And I did this every day. I read it every single day for 90 days. Just do it for 30 days. Just do it for a week and see how it changes your perspective. You're going to see yourself in a different light. You're going to see God in a different light. 139 is 24 verses. And it just talks about, "Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising, and thou understandest my my thought afar off. It just talks about how he goes before us, he's behind us, he's beside us, he's with us in the dark, in the depths, he's with us in the light, he's with us everywhere. There is nothing that comes into our life that is a surprise to God. It has been filtered through God, and he has allowed it. So when we stop and think, okay, this chronic pain is a surprise to God, he doesn't know. Well, yes, he does know. He allowed it, not saying he did it. He didn't do it to us. He allowed it in our lives to grow us, to create a stronger person, to create a more like Christ-like person in us, so that when we see somebody else struggling and going through something super hard, we can be a help and a blessing to them. So I want to encourage you to read Psalm 139, all 24 verses, every day. Try it for a week. Just try it every day for a week and see what happens. And then go to week 2 and do it again. I promise you, it's going to change the way that you see yourself and the way that you see God. And you're going to feel his love in such a deep way. All right, guys, God bless. Have a beautiful day.